Why I avoid people now, and you might want to too. Hey there, my beautiful brave souls. You know, I never thought I'd make a video like this, but here we are. And before you think I've turned into a hermit, living in a cave surrounded by tarot cards and crystals, well, maybe a little bit. But there's a reason. And today I'm going to get real with you about why I avoid people now, and why you might want to also. I am so happy to have you all here. Let's get into this video. Now, don't get me wrong, I love people. I've spent decades connecting with others through tarot, working with the public, and teaching. But over time, I started noticing something. The more I gave, the more some people take advantage. And not in that beautiful, receptacle way where love and kindness flow both ways. No, this was one-sided. Do you ever feel drained after certain conversations or visits? Like someone's energy just sticks to you like bad perfume. Yeah, me too. This is why I started pulling back. Energy vampires are real, and I don't mean the cool, sparkly kind. I'm talking about people who leave you feeling exhausted, anxious, and empty. They thrive on drama, negativity, and constant neediness. You know the type. The friend who always has a crisis but never asks you how you're doing. The relative who calls only when they want something. Or that person who unloads their problems and leave you feeling like you've run a marathon barefoot on hot coals. Well, here's some ideas on how to handle it. Set boundaries to protect your energy. Boundaries are essential because they help you preserve your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Think of your energy like a valuable resource. It's limited, and how you use it determines the quality of your life. Just like you wouldn't leave your doors wide open for everyone to come in whenever they wanted, you need to protect your internal space too. Limit your time and availability. One of the first steps in boundaries is setting a manageable timeline. You don't have to be available for every request, whether it's personal or professional. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It means you're honoring your needs. For example, if you know that you need quiet time after a busy day to focus on your work, make that a non-negotiable. You can choose when you're available and when you're not, and it's okay to communicate that to others. Let calls go to voicemail. Voicemail is incredibly powerful. It's not rude, it's just practical. You don't have to be on call 24/7. You get to choose when and how to engage. You can listen to the message and respond when you have the emotional capacity to. And if it's not urgent, you have the time to decide when to reply. This is about protecting your mental space and preventing yourself from getting overwhelmed with immediate demands. Saying, I don't have the capacity for this right now is okay. Being upfront about your limits doesn't mean you're being dismissive or uncaring. It means you're acknowledging that you can't pour from an empty cup. None of us can. Sometimes you just need to be honest. I don't have the capacity for this right now. You don't owe anyone an explanation beyond that, and even not that. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to putting others' needs before your own, but it's necessary to keep your own mental and emotional health intact. You're not saying no forever. You're just saying not at this moment. And then you need to protect your energy like the treasure it is. Your energy is precious, and every person or situation that you engage with either adds to it or drains from it. You have the right to choose whether or not engaging with those who deplete your energy. protecting your energy means being selective about who and what you allow into your life. Not everything is worth your time, and that's okay. By setting boundaries, you're letting others know that your peace, time, and energy are sacred, and you will not let anything disturb that. Once you begin to set these boundaries and honor them, you'll notice a sense of freedom. You'll feel more in control of your time and your emotional well-being. Boundaries allow you to focus on what matters most to you without feeling guilty or overextended. It gives you the space to recharge and stay true to yourself, rather than being constantly pulled in different directions. It's not about being rigid or cutting people off. It's about being clear with yourself and others on what you need to maintain your balance and peace. When you protect your energy, you're doing the world a favor too, because only when you're whole and healthy can you truly show up for others in a meaningful way. Not everyone deserves access to you. This was a tough lesson for me. I've always believed being kind and open, but not everybody values that. Some folks mistake kindness for weakness. They push your boundaries, expect constant access to your time and energy, and it takes your generosity for granted. Maybe it's a friend who expects you to drop everything for them, but disappears when you need support. Or the person who shows up only when they want something. How do you handle that? Start by taking a step back and reflecting on the relationship you currently have with them, whether they're family, friends, coworkers, or even acquaintances. Ask yourself, do these relationships bring me joy, peace, and energy? Do they make me feel supported, understood, and valued? Or do I feel drained, overlooked, or emotionally taxed after spending time with these people? These reflections will help you get a clear picture of where you stand in your relationships. You'll start to notice patterns. For example, do you always reach out first? Maybe. Or are you the one carrying the emotional weight of the conversation? These insights are crucial in identifying which relationships are healthy and which ones might need a little more distance. Once you've reflected and made a list of people who truly support and uplift you. So who are these people? These people are the ones that encourage your growth, show up for you in both good times and bad, respect your boundaries, make you feel seen, heard, and understood, inspire you to be your best self without any hidden agendas. These are your energy givers. They help you feel stronger, more confident, and more aligned with your true self. This is the kind of circle you want to nurture and spend more time with. One-sided relationships are those where emotional effort is not reciprocated. In these situations, you may find yourself always giving, whether it's your time, energy, or support, without receiving much in return. It could be that you're constantly the one initiating contact or offering emotional support, but the other person rarely offers the same in return. These relationships often feel like a burden rather than a mutual exchange of energy. Acknowledging these dynamics is essential to freeing yourself from the drain that they cause. These relationships can make you feel unappreciated, overwhelmed, and even at times resentful. It's okay to realize that not all relationships are meant to be long-term or enduring. Sometimes recognizing that can be a huge act of self-love, Stepping back doesn't mean you have to cut people off cold turkey, especially if they're not causing harm, but simply taking up too much of your energy. It's about creating some distance to protect your peace. Here's how you can do it gradually. Set clear boundaries, limiting your time with them. If they reach out too frequently or expect more of your time than you're comfortable with, kindly let them know that you're busy, need time for yourself, or have other priorities. Change the nature of the interactions. If you've been emotionally available for someone who never reciprocates, you can begin to adjust the type of conversations you engage in. Maybe the deep emotional charge talks become less frequent, and you shift to lighter conversations that don't require so much of your emotional labor. Be honest and kind. If the relationship requires more transparency, have an open conversation. It can be as simple as saying, I need to take some space right now to focus on myself. Or, I've been feeling a bit drained lately and I need to recharge. This doesn't need to be a confrontation or you are doing this. It's just an honest acknowledgement of your needs. Let your actions speak. You can slowly reduce your engagement by replying less frequently or not being as available when they reach out. If the other person notices and questions it, you can explain it in a calm, straightforward manner that you're prioritizing your well-being at the moment. When you start to step back from relationships that aren't nourishing you, you may initially feel some guilt or some discomfort, especially if you're used to being the one who always gives. But it's important to remember that your peace, well-being, and mental health matter far more than fulfilling others' needs at the expense of your own. You don't owe anyone your time, and you certainly don't owe anyone your energy if it's not being reciprocated. Prioritizing your peace might look like saying no to invitations or requests that would drain you, taking solo time to recharge and center yourself, engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment without guilt, practicing self-compassion, allowing yourself the space to grow and evolve. Some relationships may be so one-sided or even toxic that you need to completely walk away. It's tough, especially if there's a long history, but sometimes it's the most loving thing you can do for both of you. You don't owe anyone your time or energy. Remember that, especially if they cause you emotional harm. Trust that as you release what no longer serves you, space will open up for more healthier, fulfilling connections. Finally, actively nurture and invest in relationships that uplift and support you. These are often the ones that will sustain you in the long run. Make more time for people who bring out the best of you and who genuinely care for your well-being. As you invest in these relationships, you'll find that they naturally become more enriching and fulfilling, creating a positive cycle of support and growth. By doing this, you'll naturally create a circle of people who respect your boundaries and share mutual care. And you'll find that your energy becomes more aligned with your true self. It's all about finding balance and reclaiming that space you deserve. When it became a job, not a joy. Many of you know I stopped doing live readings on my channel, North Star Tarot. It started to feel like work. When you're constantly giving and people kept creating multiple accounts to sneak in extra free readings, well, that's just taking advantage of it. But this can happen in any area of your life. Maybe it's a hobby that turned into an obligation, or friendships where you're always the listener but never the one heard. How to handle that? Well, take a step back and reassess. Ask yourself, is this still bringing me joy? If not, give yourself permission to pause, reset, and decide what feels right for you. What are the benefits of stepping back? Well, since I've been more mindful of who I let in my energy, my life has changed in the most beautiful ways. As you become more mindful of who you allow into your energy field, you're not just clearing space in your life. You're creating a new space for yourself, a space where creativity can flow, intuition can shine, and peace can thrive. The process of guarding your energy becomes a form of self-love, a powerful act of protecting your inner peace. And then you can live a lighter, happier, and more fulfilling life. It's like you're building a life that's fully aligned with who you truly are. And when you're in that alignment, everything else falls into place. The creativity, the happiness, the clarity, the peace, they all come as natural consequences of you making yourself and your well-being the top priority. And the more you embrace this practice, the more you'll see your life transform into the most beautiful way. When you begin setting boundaries and being mindful of who you allow into your space, you're creating space for what truly matters. Letting go of draining or one-sided relationships is like clearing clutter from a room. Suddenly, there's more room to breathe, to dream, to create, with fewer distractions and emotional demands. Your mind becomes a fertile ground for creativity. You're no longer bogged down by negativity or obligations that deplete your energy. Instead, your thoughts are free to flow, and you can immerse yourself in your passions without guilt or overwhelm. Creativity thrives in peace, and as you make more room for joy, you're able to express yourself more freely. Whether through your work, your art, or simply enjoying the small, beautiful moments of your life, you're allowing yourself to be in the present moment. And that's where the magic happens. This freedom you've carved out for creativity invites more inspiration, joy, and fulfillment into your life. When you have more time and energy for yourself, you're able to reconnect with the things that bring you happiness. Whether it's reading, creating videos, writing, or even just spending time in nature. It's amazing how clearing space in your life can open up new avenues for joy to flow in. When you're constantly surrounded by energy-draining situations and people, it's hard to hear your inner voice. The noise and the external demands cloud your judgment and make it difficult to assess your intuition. However, as you begin to be more discerning about energies you invite into your life, you clear away that noise. You're actively creating space for your intuition to step forward and guide you without the weight of unnecessary emotional entanglements or the distraction of trying to please others. You find that your inner guidance becomes sharper and more reliable. You can hear that quiet voice within more clarity because you're no longer trying to drown it out with external influences or the stress of constantly giving to others. Intuition is subtle, inner knowing, and it thrives in calm, clear spaces. By protecting your energy, you're allowing your intuition to flow freely, making it easier to trust your gut feelings and make decisions that align with your highest good. Whether your energy is balanced and at peace, your inner wisdom shines through in ways that can surprise and delight you. It's like tapping into a deeper connection with yourself and the universe. This is perhaps one of the most beautiful shifts. When you start protecting your energy, the heaviness of carrying other people's emotional baggage, meeting unnecessary expectations, or dealing with toxic energy fades away. You feel lighter because you're no longer burdened by all the things that used to drain you. You also begin to feel more grounded in your own truth. By consciously choosing to protect your energy, you're essentially choosing to protect your peace. There's a serenity that comes from knowing that you are in control of who you are and what you let into your life. You become more attuned to what feels right for you and what doesn't. And this clarity brings peace. As a result, you start to feel happier, truly happy, not because of external circumstances, but because you're living in alignment with yourself. You're honoring your needs, your boundaries, and your intuition. There's a profound joy that comes from living authentically. And choosing peace over chaos, you start to realize that your happiness doesn't depend on others, but on your own decisions and the energy you cultivate within yourself. More peace equals more happiness. When you protect your inner peace, you create a sanctuary for joy. You no longer feel like you're constantly juggling multiple emotional obligations, trying to please others, or carrying burdens that aren't yours. This emotional freedom allows happiness to rise naturally within you. As you become more mindful of who you allow into your energy field, you're not just clearing space in your life, you're creating a new space for yourself, a space where creativity can flow, intuition can shine, and peace can thrive. The more you practice mindful energy management, the more positive effects continue to build. You'll start to notice that as you protect your energy, you attract more like-minded people who resonate with your peaceful and authentic vibe. Your relationships become more fulfilling, and you begin to share your life with people who genuinely support and uplift you. You also start to notice a stronger connection to your own desires and passions. Since you've cleared the mental and emotional clutter, it's easier to tap into what you truly want out of life. Your goals and dreams feel more aligned with who you are. And that sense of purpose creates an even greater sense of peace and fulfillment. In the bigger picture, this energy management practice becomes a lifestyle. You are consciously cultivating positive energy, which in turn brings more beautiful moments into your life. You'll find that the people and experiences you attract are more in harmony with your values and your aspirations. And this creates a cycle of peace, clarity, and abundance. And guess what? The people who truly love and respect you, they'll still be there. So, if you've been feeling drained, anxious, or like your kindness is being taken granted for, this is your sign. It's okay to step back. It's okay to protect your peace. And it's okay to say no more to anyone who doesn't honor your energy. Until next time, be brave, be strong, and love endlessly. Bye for now.